Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Facebook Live session of Goregaon Sports Club on the topic The Post COVID 19 New Normal for SMEs Advantage India. Today, with us, we have our speaker, Ms. Shrishti Banka. Ms. Shrishti Banka is the founder CEO of Banka CFO. One can clearly see her zeal and ambition with this long list of qualifications. She is a BCom, ACA, CS, MA English Literature, CFA Level 3 candidate, LLB final year. All of 24, Shrishti already has over 6 years of work experience with global leaders in finance, law, taxation, and accountancy. Her venture Banka CFO has greatly benefited micro, small, and medium enterprises, and she has been widely published for it. She has been featured in leading news and media websites, some of them are Economic Times, Financial Express, SME Times, etc. On a lighter note, she also runs a pop culture page on Instagram, which has had more than 2 lakh followers. She was invited to co-host a radio show in New York. She's a passionate poet and became a published author with her first debut book, Summer Solstice and Other Poems. And here we have Shrishti Banka.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in live today. I hope आप सब ठीक है और सेफ हैं आपके घरों में. आज जो हम चीज़ पे बात करने जा रहे हैं वो है कि क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है MSMEs का ऑफ कोविड-19, राइट? तो सबसे पहले लेट अस टॉक कि ये जो MSME के बारे में हम बात करते हैं वो इतने इम्पॉर्टेंट क्यों हैं? वाई आर दे कंसिडर्ड एज द बैकबोन ऑफ आवर कंट्री? MSMEs contribute to 29% of GDP of India. They contribute to 45% of our manufacturing output. Not only that, they also help in exports and employment. 40% of Indian exports जो कि है आज के डेट में वो आता है हमारे Indian MSMEs में. क्या सेक्टर्स हैं जो कि एक्सपोर्ट्स में मेनली कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं? सम ऑफ देम आर लेदर, टेक्सटाइल, फार्मास्यूटिकल, ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स एंड सो ऑन. इसके अलावा MSMEs 12 करोड़ पीपल को एम्प्लॉय करते हैं आउट ऑफ आवर टोटल पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 135 करोड़ पीपल, राइट? ये जो रेट है, दिस इज़ द हाइएस्ट रेट ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट इन आवर कंट्री प्रोवाइडेड बाय MSMEs राइट आफ्टर एग्रीकल्चर. और एक और सरप्राइजिंग फैक्ट ये है कि हमारा जो एवरेज फर्म साइज है MSME का, दैट इज़ ओनली 2 पीपल, राइट? इन द ट्रूएस्ट सेंस दे आर कंसिडर्ड एज आर MSMEs. और हमारे MSMEs ग्रो हो रहे हैं एट एन एवरेज रेट ऑफ 17% पर एनम. इट इज़ नो सरप्राइज कि कोविड के वजह से उन पे बहुत सारे इम्पैक्ट्स पड़े हैं. और अब हम बात करते हैं कि मेजरली कि इम्पैक्ट क्या हुआ है MSMEs का. इसको व्हेन आई लुक एट इट, आई लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट इट फ्रॉम 3 buckets. 3 तरह के मेजर शॉक हुए हैं. वन इज़ अ सप्लाई शॉक, डिमांड शॉक एंड अ मार्केट शॉक, राइट? सबसे पहले जो है वो है कि बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस सारे के सारे शट हो गए हैं, जिसके कारण कैश फ्लोज पूरे रुक चुके हैं. जो पेंडिंग डेटर्स हैं, दे आर नॉट पेइंग द ड्यूज बिकॉज दे देमसेल्व्स डू नॉट हैव एनी सोर्स ऑफ एक्स्ट्रा रेवेन्यू. अब एक नॉर्मल बिजनेस ऑपरेटर जब बिजनेस करता है, सो देर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर्स. वन इज़ अ फिक्स्ड एक्सपेंडिचर और वेरिएबल एक्सपेंडिचर. MSMEs के जो फिक्स्ड एक्सपेंसेस हैं सच एज देयर प्रॉपर्टी, रेंट, ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट जो कि ऑलरेडी काफ़ी हाई है, उनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कॉस्ट वो ऑन गोइंग है. साथ ही उन्हें जो लेंडिंग सपोर्ट है वो इतना ज़्यादा मिला नहीं है. काफ़ी कुछ मिला भी है, पर इट इज़ नॉट बीन what MSMEs have truly been expecting. We'll discuss about कि उन्हें क्या support मिला है from RBI, SIDBI and various other banking institutions in a short while. To talk about other impact that MSMEs have been suffering is that कि जो government की तरफ से उन्हें support आया है, they have been a lot of distrust. They are not sure कि whether this support is sufficient or not, and they are also not sure कि वो support का use कैसे करें. तो इस प्रकार से उन्हें एक सप्लाई शॉक हुआ है और एक डिमांड शॉक कि उनका जो रेंटल इनकम है, उनकी जो सैलरीज हैं, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज़ ऑन गोइंग. नाउ जो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ होता है कि पूरा कंट्री का कंजम्पशन साइकिल वो रुक चुका है. एक सरप्राइजिंग फैक्ट ये है जो कि सारे ऑटो सेक्टर इंडस्ट्रीज़ ने रिवील किया है कि इन द मंथ ऑफ अप्रैल the number of sales of automobiles was zero. इट वॉज कम्प्लीटली ब्लैंक, एक भी ऑटोमोबाइल सेल नहीं हुआ है। एंड ऑटो सेक्टर से एक देश के कंजम्पशन का हम एस्टिमेट लगा सकते हैं। इसके अलावा हम देखते हैं कि रिसेंटली ही जहाँ हम रिसाइड करते हैं, जहाँ हमारा गोरेगांव स्पोर्ट्स क्लब है, मुंबई में इमिग्रेंट लेबर्स का बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो गया था, राइट। सभी लेबरर्स वापस जाना चाहते थे। बॉम्बे में जो मैक्सिमम स्टेट्स हैं जहाँ से इमिग्रेंट लेबर्स आते हैं वो है उत्तर प्रदेश, बिहार, राजस्थान और उड़ीसा। ये 4 स्टेट के जो लेबरर्स है, देयर वाज अ मेजर एक्सोडस ऑफ दोज लेबरर्स वांटिंग टू गो बैक टू देयर स्टेट्स। जब ये चीज़ें खुलेंगी, जब हमारा कोविड का सिचुएशन नॉर्मल होगा, तभी एक लेबर शॉर्टेज का सिचुएशन अराइज होगा फॉर ऑल द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग आउटपुट्स। इसके अलावा हमें हमारा जो टैक्स बर्डन चल रहा है, राइट, आवर GST कंप्लायंसेस दैट आर ऑन गोइंग, एंड हमारा जो रेगुलर टैक्स साइकिल होता है वो भी कभी स्टॉप नहीं हुआ है। जो हमें रिलीफ मिले हैं, दे आर वेलकम एंड दे आर वेरी एक्सेप्टिंग, बट एट द सेम टाइम वी मस्ट एक्नॉलेज कि हमारा जो रिटर्न्स है उसका खाली डिफरमेंट हुआ है। मोस्ट ऑफ दीज रिटर्न्स हैव बीन डिफर्ड टिल 30 जून 2020। साथ ही अगर आपका टर्नओवर है 5 करोड़ से नीचे तो आपको इंटरेस्ट, पेनल्टी और लेट फाइलिंग फीस एप्लीकेबल नहीं होंगे। पर अगर आपका टर्नओवर 5 करोड़ से ऊपर है और अगर आप 15 डेज विद इन योर ड्यू डेट के लेट फाइल करेंगे तो ये सब जो पेनल्टीज़ और लेट फाइलिंग फीस और इंटरेस्ट है ये भी आप पे एप्लीकेबल होंगे। तो वी शुड बी वेरी क्लियर कि हमारे ड्यू डेट्स जो है वो खाली एक्सटेंड हुए हैं बाय अ सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ डेज, ना कि हमें एग्जेम्पशन मिला है कम्प्लीटली, राइट। एक और प्रॉब्लम जो हम सब इनकाउंटर कर रहे हैं वो है कि हम हमारे सैलरीज, वेजेस, रेम्यूनरेशन, वेरियस एम्प्लॉय वेलफेयर बेनिफिट्स वो कैसे पे करेंगे। काफ़ी जनों में ये एक तरह से कन्फ्यूजन है कि क्या वो मैंडेटरी है पे करना, क्या मैंडेटरी नहीं है। तो लेट मी क्लियर दिस वंस एंड फॉर ऑल कि लेबर लॉज, जो हमारे वेरियस लेबर लॉज एप्लीकेबल है इंडिया में और जो गवर्न करते हैं लेबर पेमेंट्स अंडर EPF, अंडर ESIC, अंडर ग्रेजुएटी एक्ट, बोनस एक्ट, इसको कलेक्टिवली कहते हैं लेबर लॉज। और अंडर लेबर लॉज ऐसा कोई भी प्रोविजन नहीं हुआ है फिलहाल जो गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्टिव्स इशू कर रही है, दैट इज बीइंग इशूड अंडर द डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट एक्ट, right? But it is not mandatory. It is not being stipulated कि your salaries and your wages have to be paid. Now, there are two ways of looking at this. One is the humanitarian angle. Naturally, if my laborers or if my workers or if my employees have been associated with me for a period of say 5 years, 1 year, 2 years, I don't want to suddenly take that benefit away from them of paying their remuneration, of paying their EPF or paying their ESIC, and because they also have their families to fend for. So on a humanitarian ground, no employer will on their own resort to cutting down of salaries, cutting down of wages. It is only that it is the need of the hour. At the same time, there is a judgment by Bombay High Court which says कि when the government starts the operations, and that point of time, if the workers themselves are not voluntarily coming to work, then the employers are eligible to deduct their salaries and remuneration. But let me tell you that this is just a last resort which everyone has to resort to. It is not the first option, right? So these are some of the things that have been haunting MSMEs and that have been daunting them, that how will they meet these things. At the same time, another very important thing that I want to address here is the debt burden, right? हमारा जो EMI का साइकिल है, हमें मॉरेटोरियम मिला है, वो है रीपेमेंट ऑफ प्रिंसिपल पे, पर इंटरेस्ट पे हमें मॉरेटोरियम नहीं मिला है। जब ये चीज़ें नॉर्मलाइज होंगी और हम देख रहे हैं स्लोली थिंग्स आर नॉर्मलाइजिंग, at that point of time जो पास्ट कुछ वीक्स का डेथ साइकिल है वो ऑलरेडी एडअप हो चुका होगा, राइट? इस वजह से एक डेट बर्डन शुरू हो गया होगा, एंड दिस डेट बर्डन इज समथिंग दैट इज अ मेजर इशू for all MSMEs operating in India right now. Now, if we were to talk about which are some of the industries, which are some of the sectors that have been impacted the most, they are retail, tourism, hospitality, entertainment, private sectors in terms of professional services, personal services and so on. कुछ ये sectors हैं जो कि maximum impacted हैं. The third shock that I want to talk about after supply shock and demand shock is the market shock. We've all seen कि लिक्विडिटी बिल्कुल भी मार्केट्स में बचे नहीं है। इवन डेट म्यूचुअल फंड्स एज एस्टैब्लिश्ड एज फ्रैंकलिन टेम्पल्टन ने रिसेंटली अपने 6 क्रेडिट रिस्क डेट म्यूचुअल फंड को लिक्विडेट किया है, राइट। एट द सेम टाइम हम देखते हैं कि काफ़ी सारे लिस्टेड कंपनीज जो कि लेवरेज्ड हैं, they have been defaulting on their payments continuously, and they have been trying new ways to raise funds, such as they have been opting for rights issues, NCDs. So overall, the situation is very clear that there are a lot of impacts that have been going on, and we are all somewhere or the other, we are well versed with this और हमने पढ़ा है. Now I want to talk about कि what are the measures that the policy makers have been taken so that this situation is addressed. Now first and foremost, I want to say that RBI and the revenue offices have done a commendable job. इसमें सबसे पहले मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि RBI ने एक स्पेशल लिक्विडिटी विंडो अनाउंस की है ऑफ 15,000 करोड़ जस्ट टू मीट द क्रेडिट नीड्स ऑफ MSMEs. 15,000 करोड़ का ये RBI ने विंडो अनाउंस किया है फॉर द क्रेडिट नीड्स. अब RBI ये MSMEs तक कैसे पहुंचाएगा, माइक्रो स्मॉल और मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस तक कैसे ये 15,000 करोड़ लिक्विडिटी अवेलेबल होंगे. तो इसके लिए बैंक्स ने लोन्स देना कंपलसरी किया है फॉर ऑल द कंपनीज विद द टर्नओवर ऑफ लेस देन 300 करोड़. इसके साथ साथ SIDBI is providing loans up to ₹5 lakh to MSME manufacturing medical supplies. जो भी MSMEs मैन्युफैक्चरिंग मेडिकल सप्लाईज मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं, जैसे सैनिटाइजर, मास्क, ग्लव्स, हेडगेयर, बॉडी सूट्स, शू कवर्स, वेंटिलेटर्स, गॉगल्स एंड टेस्टिंग लैब्स, उन्हें वो MSME को SIDBI लोन प्रोवाइड कर रहा है अप टू एन अमाउंट ऑफ INR 50 lakhs, राइट. एट द सेम टाइम OD एंड CC फैसिलिटीज़ जो है वो एक्सटेंड हो गए हैं बाय एन एडिशनल अमाउंट ऑफ 20% बाय ऑल नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक्स. SIDBI ने काफ़ी सारे स्कीम्स लॉन्च किए हैं सच एज द स्पेशल लिक्विडिटी सपोर्ट टू MSMEs, जिसके अंदर वो ये सारे लिक्विडिटी सपोर्ट स्कीम्स MSMEs तक पहुंचा रहे हैं थ्रू बैंक्स, थ्रू माइक्रो फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूशंस, NBFCs. और ये सारे स्पेशल स्कीम्स में द इंटरेस्ट रेट्स आर एज लो एज 5%. यस, 5% तक के लो इंटरेस्ट रेट तक SIDBI is acting just to disburse loans to MSMEs. So these are some of the ways जो हमारे बैंकिंग सेक्टर, हमारे RBI ने efforts लिए हैं to promote, to enhance the liquidity and to enhance the credit needs. Right now liquidity का सबसे बड़ा crunch है, and that is the one thing that needs to be addressed. Now I want to here I also want to talk income tax refunds of below ₹5 lakhs have been refunded and implemented. This is a very good measure. और अगर कोई MSME या कोई स्मॉल मीडियम बिजनेस ओनर है जिनके इनकम टैक्स रिफंड पेंडिंग है अप टू एन अमाउंट ऑफ 5 लाख, आई रिक्वेस्ट एंड आई अर्ज आपको कि आप लोग अप्लाई करिए, एंड स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली इट विल गेट प्रोसेस्ड, इट विल गेट इम्प्लीमेंटेड एंड रिफंडेड, क्योंकि फिलहाल ये सब मेजर्स एक्टिवली टेक प्लेस, दे आर एक्टिवली गेटिंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड, राइट. नेक्स्ट थिंग आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट इज कि सारे जो भी एक्सपोर्टर्स है, फॉरेन ट्रेड पॉलिसी हैज़ बीन एक्सपैंडेड फॉर दोज एक्सपोर्टर्स सो दैट दे कैन क्लेम बेनिफिट ऑफ दीज refunds and various schemes under export incentives for a period of 1 more year, right? So now I want to stop here and let me see, we are 15 minutes into the session and I have covered कि MSMEs पे क्या impact हुआ है. At the same time policy makers ने क्या क्या measures लिए हैं. Before I move into the next segment, I want to see a few questions and talk about that. Mayura is asking that what are some of the alternatives available to MSMEs who are looking to raise additional funds. So by these alternatives I understand कि ये जो debt trap की हम बात कर रहे थे, इसके अलावा और क्या alternatives हैं. So I would like to take this question up in about 2 minutes time, Mayura. It is in fact the part of it is a part of the topic of Advantage India and what is the new normal and how MSMEs can benefit, wherein I will talk about the public fund mechanism and how MSMEs can take advantage of factoring their invoices and factoring their receivables. So these are some of the alternates that are available to MSMEs who want to raise additional funds rather than approaching banks or financial institutions. Okay, so So Suresh Gupta is asking that do we need to pay wages in the period of lockdown? So Suresh ji, thank you so much for your question. And हमने ये address किया था like I think a few minutes back कि yes, there is ideally you should be paying wages because that is the first and the foremost thing. जैसे employers को problem है वैसे ही employees को भी problem है, तो wages सारे हमें pay करने चाहिए. But if there is a liquidity measure, then we can resort to maybe you can negotiate with your wages and your with your laborers, and you can maybe opt for deferring of their salaries. उनके salaries आप defer कर सकते हैं for a certain period, or you can come up with maybe some other this arrangement with them कि for there could be a certain this arrangement with the workers कि आप for a specific month आप उनको wages कुछ कम दे रहे हैं, but at the same time you are adjusting that. As per the, if your question is कि as per the statutory requirement is it mandatory, it is not really mandatory. ऐसा कुछ भी law में या कहीं भी statute में लिखा नहीं है. At the same time अपन देखेंगे कि Reliance ने recently Reliance Industries ने announce किया है कि उनके हाइड्रोकार्बन के जितने भी employees हैं who are drawing an annual remuneration of more than ₹15 lakh, there have been pay cuts in that sector because we all know कि oil prices have fallen to below zero, so naturally the impact is a lot and they are not able to meet their such high salary needs. So that is something which is an internal call, which is really not something that can be standardized. It is entirely that has to be determined on an individual, on a case to case basis. इसमें कोई भी एक one size fit all rule नहीं है कि सभी को देने हैं salary, सभी factories को या सभी manufacturing units को. Thank you so much, Tanushri. How have banks helped MSMEs to improve liquidity during the ongoing pandemic? This question is asked by Amarkant Jain. So thank you so much, Amarkant, for your question. तो इसमें first of all banks ने काफ़ी सारे measures लिए हैं which have been initiated by RBI and SIDBI. RBI ने funds infuse किए हैं of 15,000 crore just to meet the credit needs and the liquidity needs of MSMEs. ये funds जो है SIDBI इसको implement कर रही है through various banks, microfinance institutions and NBFCs. And if you are a MSME, then there are various special liquidity measures and special liquidity schemes that have been launched by SIDBI. At the same time, if you are a manufacturing unit and if you are manufacturing medical supplies such as hand sanitizer, mask, gloves, then SIDBI is providing loans up to ₹50 lakhs to help them out. At the same time, OD and CC facility has been extended by an additional 20% by all nationalized banks. This is a wonderful and a brilliant measure to infuse liquidity in the nation, जिसमें कि OD और CC facility extend हुई है by an additional amount of 20%. Okay, alright. So I think we've covered a fair amount of questions, and now I would like to talk about that what is it that lies ahead for us. At the same time, what do the MSMEs really want? आखिर MSME चाहता क्या है? Problems बहुत है, पर उनके expectations क्या है? तो number one जो हम काफ़ी टाइम से बात कर रहे हैं, जो कि है कि they want that the salaries and they should be deferred. Right, जो salary और जो employee benefits हैं, those should be deferred for a specific period of time. यहाँ पे I want to talk about Austria. Austria की government ने salary subsidies दी है up to an amount of 85%. At the same time, UK and Finland ने भी काफ़ी salary support किया है, काफ़ी salary subsidies provide किया है for self-employed people. So these are some wonderful initiatives, and MSMEs of India are expecting on similar lines, and we are very hopeful that there will be a great economic package and a great economic boost which will be announced very soon just to help the MSMEs. At the same time, MSMEs चाहते हैं कि उन्हें EMI का moratorium मिले. Right, अभी हमें moratorium मिला है खाली payment of principal का, वो interest का भी moratorium चाहते हैं. इसका एक simple चीज़ है कि अगर पूरी business क्लॉक जो है, बिजनेस साइकिल की जो क्लॉक है, अगर वो रुक चुकी है, अगर कोई बिजनेस अंडरटेक नहीं हो रहा है, तो ये इंटरेस्ट का जो क्लॉक है वो क्यों नहीं रुक सकता है? इस कारण से वो मॉरेटोरियम भी चाहते हैं ऑन देयर इंटरेस्ट। एट द सेम टाइम जो कि है GST and these other tax compliances, the payment of those should be deferred without payment of interest and penalties. These are the various things that our MSMEs are expecting at this point of time, right? So now let's also talk about what are some of the opportunities that are available for our Indian MSMEs. And here I want to say that China houses around $1.4 trillion. Yes, $1.4 trillion of manufacturing activity is there in China right now, which can be shifted to India. And in India, the one that contributes to 40% of our manufacturing output are the Indian MSMEs. They are clearly the Indian MSME sectors who are capable of taking such a big demand of manufacturing activities from China. Right? यहाँ पे I also want to talk about कि the government is also paying 24% of EPF, which is 12% of employers' contribution and 12% of employees' contribution for a period of 3 months. This is applicable on 2 conditions: if you have less than 100 employees in your unit, and if 90% of the employees have their wages less than 15,000 rupees per month. इससे manufacturing sector they have been benefited a lot, बट हमारा MSMEs जो है वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में भी इंक्लूडेड है और सर्विसेज सेक्टर में भी. सो सर्विस फर्म्स आर वर्चुअली लेफ्ट आउट ऑफ दिस होल EPF कंसिडरेशन विच हैज़ बीन गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट, बिकॉज सर्विस सेक्टर, an average salary of employees in the service sector is a lot more than 15,000 per month, right? यहाँ पे another recommendation that can be done, that can be presented to the government, and I urge कि हमारे जितने भी GSE के MSME business owners है who are representing their various professional associations or various their sub associations, that the social security funds which are EPF and ESIC, those can be used to pay the salaries and the wages of the laborers for this period of time. Now social security funds क्या होते हैं? इंडिया में social security funds में EPF और ESIC आते हैं, और उसके अंदर जो funds है that is ₹91,000 crore के ये funds इकट्ठा है. ये फंड्स का हम यूज़ करके एक तरह से लॉकडाउन सैलरीज डिसबर्स करने में इसको यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट कैन बी अ ग्रेट रिकमेंडेशन ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द प्रोफेशनल एसोसिएशन और द वेरियस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ऑफ MSME सेक्टर्स टू द इंडियन गवर्नमेंट, राइट? नाउ वन थिंग इज़ वेरी क्लियर कि जब व्हेन थिंग्स ओपन, दे विल नॉट ओपन ऑल ऑफ अ सडन, राइट? ये प्रॉब्लम जितने सडनली आई थी, जितने सडनली हमें बोला गया था कि शट डाउन योर बिजनेसेस, योर ऑफिसेज, योर फैक्ट्रीज, योर हॉस्पिटल्स, स्कूल्स, कॉलेजेस, मूवी थिएटर्स, ऑल पब्लिक प्लेसेस, जितने क्विकली ये सब चीज़ें लॉकडाउन हुए थे, उतने सडनली ये सब स्टार्ट नहीं होने वाला है. वन थिंग दैट वी शुड ऑल एक्नॉलेज इज दैट देयर विल बी अ staggered sort of approach to starting things back up again. Right now also we are seeing ki everything has been divided into various zones, and this activity will be, economic activity will restart in a zone, in a phased out manner. So we have to be prepared for this. Also we are seeing ki in places like China, after the whole wave of the virus has been closed, there are some new cases that are emerging. So it is quite possible कि there could be a second wave of this virus that starts. At the same time, अभी फ़िलहाल हमारे पास टाइम है कि how can we plan ahead? How can the MSMEs take advantage of this situation, and how can we step into this new world? One thing has to be very clear कि the world will not be the same. Post-COVID India will not be the same as the pre-COVID scenario. MSMEs post-COVID will be completely different, and there will be some winners and there will be some losers in this situation. So while we still have time, while things are opening again in a few weeks' time, in a staggered manner, in a phased manner, what are some of the things that can be leveraged to our advantage so that we are better prepared and we emerge in the winner category? So सबसे पहले I want to urge कि as per a recent study report and as per research conducted by a leading consulting firm of India, MSMEs को रैंक करने बोला था कि आपके क्या क्या टॉप प्रॉब्लम्स है, आप वो बताइए। सबसे पहला प्रॉब्लम जो MSMEs को आया, दैट वाज लैक ऑफ फंड्स, लैक ऑफ लिक्विडिटी, right? The cost of raising funds was too high for them and they did not have sufficient access to working capital needs. Second and the foremost thing that bothered MSMEs was how do we fulfill your tax compliances and how do we fulfill the statutory compliances? Because on an average in India, there are about 100 different sorts of compliances that have to be taken care of. If you are a restaurant chain who is running a simple restaurant at this point of time, you have to comply with your food licenses, with your GST licenses. You also have to take care of the various environmental licenses that are there. So these are the various, and these are just some of the licenses that I'm mentioning. There are some fire licenses, there are various NOCs. Under each of these there are so many other licenses that have to be taken care of. It is naturally a big burden for MSMEs. और अभी since things are shut, since all the business operations are shut, naturally एक MSME business owner के दिमाग में at the back of their mind this question is looming कि मैं मेरे ये certain months की compliances कैसे fulfill करूँगा. So I want to talk here कि there are various professional bodies, professional associations in India, such as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Institute of Company Secretaries of India, who actively work with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and they actively put forth the interest. And the MSME business owners, they should not be too worried about these compliances at this point of time because these professional associations are actively working with the respective government bodies to make sure that these compliances are fulfilled at an appropriate date. The due dates will never be realistic, especially in this COVID scenario. So be rest assured that there are bodies who are working at the back end actively to make sure that things are realistic. So my suggestion is that right now all your focus, all your energy should be how to get your business back up rather than focusing on things like compliances that can be taken care of by other consultants and by other professionals who are specially appointed for these things, right? So that is the first and the foremost thing, that please don't worry about your compliances too much. There are bodies who are actively working at the back end and who will take care of this. Now, like I was saying, that the other topmost problem that MSMEs face is the lack of funds. How do we meet our liquidity requirements? So for this, मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि tap alternate sources of financing. Now NSE has a brilliant MSME exchange platform wherein if you meet their various criteria, if you meet their various conditions, you can get liquidity. This will not only add credibility to your business, but you'll also get access to public funds through this equity mechanism. It is just as simple as MSME board entities, and this is a much viable, a long-term option to growing your business. You will have a lot of exponential growth through this by tapping these public funds. Another brilliant option that I want to talk about here is the TREDS platform, Trades Receivable Discounting System, जो RBI ने recently launch किया था. So RBI ने ये launch करने का उनका thought ये था कि MSMEs को, as per the MSME Act that was this announced in 2006, हर एक MSME supplier को they should receive their funds within a period of 45 days, right? So the MSME should receive their funds compulsorily within a period of 45 days. All payments have to be made to them. But naturally, there was a lot of lag, there was a lot of delays in extending these payments to them. So RBI has launched this wonderful platform called as TREDS platform, wherein MSMEs can opt for discounting of their invoices. This is such a brilliant, wonderful platform that you can simply, if you are an MSME, you can register on the TREDS platform. You can opt for discounting your invoice, and the invoice will be auctioned by various banks, by financial institutions, so that you meet your immediate liquidity needs. Your immediate liquidity needs will be satisfied by that particular bank or financial institution who are registered on their TREDS platform, who purchase your invoices. And then the corporate buyers can, and then it will be the duty of the factoring agency who will directly recover funds from the large corporate buyers. So these are all new incentives which our government has announced, which our government is undertaking to improve the liquidity situation. One is the MSME exchange platform, as this other is this TREDS platform, which is launched by RXIL in association with RBI, right? So these are some of the top concerns of MSMEs कि हम हमारा लिक्विडिटी नीड्स कैसे सेटिस्फाई करें, एंड एट द सेम टाइम हम हमारे जो रिक्वायरमेंट्स है इन टर्म्स ऑफ कंप्लाइंसेस कैसे फुलफिल करें. नाउ बिफोर वी मूव ऑन टू how MSMEs can run their businesses in a post-COVID scenario, I can see that a lot of questions coming in, and I would like to just stop here and answer some of your questions. Okay, so Ketan Desai is asking that is there any provision for recovery for MSME from other parties who is not paying even after 90 or 100 days? Yes, Ketan, there is. Like I was just talking before we break for Q&A, that on the MSME platform, as per the MSME Act, it is mandatory that the payment is disbursed to MSME from their customers within a period of 45 days. So there is a provision on the portal wherein you can lodge a complaint to recover this amount. And of course, there are also ways like you can opt to legal mechanism. So you can just log on to the portal and MSME portal, and you can lodge a complaint against the party who has not disbursed your payment even after 45 days. Since every sector is constrained, banks are providing liquidity, but how does the business need to emerge so as to make minimum loss? Anand Pandya, that's a very good question, and I'll be addressing it now. That how can they emerge so that they can make minimum losses? First and foremost, what's important is that you need to conserve your cost under all circumstances. Right now, you only have to focus on your extremely essential cost factors. All your other discretionary expenditure has to be cut down. I absolutely agree that the government should share part of wage bill of MSME for at least 3 months, but that should happen, right? Okay. So our president, Mr. Vinay Jain, is asking that staff is demanding full salary and banks are not extending credit facility. How will employers pay? I completely agree with your sentiment that this is just an industry-wide sentiment that banks are not extending credit facilities, and the staff is at the same time staffs are demanding full salaries because they also have their households to run. Yahan pe I would like to maybe advise and recommend that if you can have a talk or chat with your staff members and maybe come up with some alternate payment structures with them wherein you can defer their salaries for the time being, or maybe speak to your bankers if you're in really very good terms with them. They will try to come up with some sort of additional OD or CC facility. Post-lockdown, will it be advantage India for the trading and MSME manufacturing sector? By Amarkant Jain. Yes, for MSME manufacturing sector, there could be a wonderful opportunity in the form of increased demand from manufacturing activities from China, and we should be geared up to take up that additional role. So there can be a situation wherein there is such a huge demand of manufacturing sector that we are unable to accommodate, and in that situation we should make sure that we are choosing the right partners. हमारा जो global supply chain है, that has to be really strong so that we are able to meet that additional demand. Indian infrastructure was the bottleneck for manufacturing investments. Right. So Anant Pandya is asking that Indian infrastructure was the main bottleneck for manufacturing investments in India. So how do you see course correction so as to fast basic infrastructure is corrected? Yes, I will be taking this question in a couple of minutes in the next session. All right. So I see that most of these questions are concerning salaries and wages, which we've spoken about at length, and I've recommended a lot of alternatives and various measures that can be resorted to. Is there some increase in the capital subsidy? Okay, all right. So I think we've addressed a lot of questions, and now let's move on to what exactly. There was one question that said that how can we start up, right? So after this whole thing, how can businesses actually take advantage, and what are some of the ways that businesses can truly benefit from this? So here I want to say that first and foremost, try to relook at your business models. Now your business models have to be very lean, in the sense that you have to adopt a mechanism wherein you are getting into payment structures that require advance payment. For example, let's talk about cement companies. Cement companies in India only work on an advance payment structure. Even companies like Hindalco and Reliance, they all work on advance payment structures. So that advance payment business model can be resorted to by us. Try to reduce all costs, like we've been saying in the lecture, and also reduce your traveling. Discretionary expenses are to be reduced completely. At the same time, this whole COVID scenario gives us time that you need to reevaluate and reassess what are your customers' needs and expectations, because it's very clear that customers' needs and expectations have changed. Just recently, I was talking to somebody from who was an education startup, an education MSME. Earlier, all their lectures used to be conducted in classrooms. Now they've moved on online. So online education will boom, and this has only happened because they have resorted to change in their customers' needs and customers' expectations. They have adopted innovation to satisfactorily meet their customers' demands at this point of time. राइट अभी कुछ सेक्टर्स है जैसे कि रेस्टोरेंट सेक्टर, एयरलाइन सेक्टर, हॉस्पिटैलिटी, टूरिज्म. These sectors are suffering in the long run, and they will take a longer time to revive, and they'll take a longer time to get back up. Also, the MSMEs who are working in the solar industry, right? The period of March to July, March, May, June, July are the peak months for MSMEs who are working in the solar industry. So for them also, this is a major setback, apart from other sectors like tourism, hospitality, retail. Now here I want to say that MSMEs need to devise a plan for mass scaling up of their businesses. You need to focus more on low value products, on how you can manufacture your products which are targeted towards a common audience, which will help you in scaling up at a mass level. Right? This is also an opportunity to replace the Chinese dominance. So China has over 5 million MSMEs, right? And they contribute to 60% of China's GDP. They contribute to 50% of the tax revenues that are collected in China. They employ over 200 million people. So these are just some of the facts and figures of the MSMEs that are there in China. And at the same time, less than 3% of these MSMEs resort to formal channels of raising funds. They primarily depend on informal lending through their families, through their friends, and all sorts of non-legal credit entities. China's MSMEs have seen an average growth of 15% every year. Why has this happened? Why has this taken place? This is because they have focused on resorting to informal channels of lending, and at the same time they have focused on low value added products. Chinese government has ensured that the imports or the purchases of raw materials is done duty free, but this manufacture is done only of duty free and products that are meant for exports. This whole strategy of the Chinese government has really succeeded in increasing the number of MSMEs, and which is why the total number of manufacturing units in China, out of that 99% of the enterprises are manufacturing low value added products. MSMEs contribute to 82% of employment opportunities in China. Recently, I was watching an interview online, and the great industrialist Rajiv Bajaj was quoted saying that the cost quality balance of engineering products in India is far superior to that of China, right? The whole world is looking at China right now, and the whole world is looking at India. What opportunities India takes place right now for us, for Indians, for the MSME sector will devise our true growth. Everyone at somewhere or the other at the back of their mind there is an emotional sentiment for importers and for manufacturers that who were importing goods from China, that they wouldn't want to get their imports from China, and that is the opportunity that Indian MSMEs can make use of. The whole world is looking at us right now, and especially जब हमने हाइड्रोक्लोरोक्वीन सप्लाई किया है पूरे वर्ल्ड को, this shows our true potential and the great impact that the MSME sectors can as a whole contribute. Another thing that I want to talk about is that your accounting estimates should be very realistic, right? जो भी हमारे accounts रहते हैं, हम at this point of time we need to adopt a very conservative approach, and we have to be very realistic in drawing up our accounts and our estimates, our figures, our whatever policies we are adopting in terms of accounting. That has to be extremely need based, and that has to be very realistic. As MSMEs, we need to focus on manufacturing products that are very consumable and that are sustainable in the long run. Garments, footwear, automotives, there is a lot of hope of deferred purchases in these sectors. So we have to ensure that whatever we are manufacturing, that is sustainable in the long run and that is also consumable. Another thing that I would like to talk about is that the distribution chain of MSMEs, आप वो distribution chain local vicinity में establish करिए. For example, जहाँ हमारा गोरेगांव sports club located है, in this whole गोरेगांव Malad area, we are known as hub of garment industries and of imitation jewelry, right? यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे industrial estates भी located है in this area. So we need to make sure कि हमारा जो distribution chain है that is localized. The supply जो है that is in the vicinity itself. By doing so, we'll ensure that our not just हमारा जो cost है that is reduced, but also we'll ensure कि हमारा business continuity continue होगा. There will not be a stop in the business. So that is very important. Another thing is that we need to plan our excess workman force, right? Now, when I say that planning our excess workman force, in the sense that we need to plan their future benefits, the future increments may be restrained. That is something that can be taken a call later. But for present remuneration, we need to try and at least be able to provide them the present remuneration. Otherwise, we need to wait for government to announce certain reliefs like salary subsidies, which is expected, and such an economic package is expected to come soon. Another thing is that there is, for MSMEs, there is a certification called Udyog Aadhar certification, right? जिसके अंदर आप once you register under that, you get the certification that you are a MSME Aadhar certified entity, and for such entities, it is mandatory that the vendors, the suppliers, clear the payments within a period of 45 days. But the figures say that 20% of MSMEs in India have only availed benefit of this Udyog Aadhar. So I urge that all the MSME units should actively seek this Udyog Aadhar certification, so that once you become registered under that, you can provide this certification to your corporate customers, to your corporate buyers, that we are a MSME Udyog Aadhar registered unit, and mandatorily the payments need to be disbursed to us within a period of 45 days. Otherwise, that could attract various penalties and various other penalizations on you as per the MSME Act. So it's something that we should really take advantage on. We should really think about. Now, this is a point wherein the MSME business owners need to prepare themselves individually, right? We all have to be community conscious at this point of time. So you should call up your vendors, you should call up your clients, your suppliers, your employees. Just check up on them, make sure that they are doing okay. Get that psychological comfort in their minds during the period of this lockdown. एट द सेम टाइम वी नीड टू इंश्योर कि हमारे जो बेस्ट एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं दे आर केप्ट लॉयल. All our best employees need to be nurtured for, need to be cared for. क्योंकि जब चीज़ें नॉर्मल होंगी तब अगर हम हमारे बेस्ट एम्प्लॉयज़ को रिटेन नहीं करेंगे तो एक रिकवरी जो है वो रिकवरी और डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाएगी. MSMEs को रिकवर होने के लिए जो डिफ़िकल्टीज फेस होंगे वो और मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएंगे अगर हम हमारे बेस्ट एम्प्लॉयज़ और हमारे लॉयल एम्प्लॉयज़ को हमारे साथ नहीं रखेंगे. तो ये पॉइंट नहीं है कि हम हमारे एम्प्लॉयज़ के कुछ पास्ट फॉल्ट्स या कुछ मिसहैप्स को देखें. इनफैक्ट वी शुड ओवरलुक दैट एंड वी शुड मेक श्योर कि हमारा जो वर्कफोर्स है, हमारा जो कोर वर्कफोर्स है, द मोस्ट लॉयल वर्कफोर्स, उसको हम हमारे साथ रखें इन द लॉन्ग रन. अनदर थिंग इज़ दैट कि MSMEs नीड टू इंश्योर कि बिजनेसेस जो है वो चेंज होने वाले हैं. अपग्रेडेशन इज़ द ओनली थिंग दैट विल हेल्प यू रीच सक्सेस. You need to upgrade at all costs and you need to upgrade for a better future. Could you please share the MSME exchange portal name? Yeah, sure. It's there on the NSE website. It's called Emerge Portal. Thank you so much, Prakhar Bajaj, for your nice, wonderful comments. Please share the factoring of purchase or sales invoices. So I believe you want to know how that can be done. So there's a portal called RXIL which is launched by RBI, wherein you can register as a MSME and you can upload your invoices. Once your invoice is confirmed by the buyer, the invoice goes up for auction by banks and factoring agencies, factoring institutes, and at the lowest possible interest. And this is all digital, this is all seamless technology that is happening even during COVID, during the period of COVID. So once your invoice is auctioned, you will immediately get the liquidity, you will get the funds in T+1 days of the transaction, and you will have your liquidity. And during the normal payment date, this the factor can recover the funds from the corporate buyer. At the same time, यहाँ पे मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि this option is collateral free. This is a completely collateral free option of meeting your liquidity needs. So I hope that helps your answer, Kusum. Thank you so much, Pramod, for your active engagement. So there is a question that from Avni, which says that if there is a dispute regarding product or service provided by another MSME, thus payment is due over 45 days. In such a case, can the vendor demand the payment? And also, are there any implications on us as the buyer? So over here, I think you're trying to say that the buyer and the sellers. Okay, wait. There's some new comments. This lost. Yeah. So you're trying to say that the buyers and the sellers are both MSMEs, right? So how can you recover in that scenario? So ideally, there is no such provision which says that an MSME can recover from a counter MSME who's a buyer or who's a customer. So the best option here would be that try to enter into some sort of settlement terms with them, that on the basis of negotiation, try to mutually agree on a payment structure, on a payment schedule, and that is something that can be done. And in terms of implications on us, who is the buyer, so as such, like I said, that as per the laws, there is no such immediate implication that you are not paying, but of course they can enter into a debt recovery proceedings and that sort of legal route. But at this point of time, obviously it's not, because litigation will only add up to the cost, so it is not the best option to resort to this sort of litigation. So what works best is that mutual discussion, mutual negotiation and mutual settlement of the payment terms. Would technology upgradation, so there's a question from Yash which says that would technology upgradation be advisable, and it might introduce more margin but volume in business seems uncertain. Yes, Yash, that's a wonderful question, and in fact I'm coming to the technology bit in the next series of discussions that we have, and it's a major discussion on how technology upgradation can be leveraged and can be taken advantage of by MSMEs in this situation. All right, so I think thank you for your questions and thank you for making this such a fun session. It's obviously a great experience interacting with so many of y'all on a topic which is so important, and I also want to thank the whole GSC community for organizing this, and that y'all identified the need of the hour. All right, so okay, so now let's talk about let's pick up from where Yash has asked us that how can technology be leveraged, how can we make use of technology as MSMEs, is technology upgradation advisable or not, right? So here, Yash, let me tell you that about 90% of MSMEs in India have said that they do not have access to technology, to internet, as compared to only 22% of MSMEs in China and 5% in USA. These numbers are very shocking because it clearly shows that the extent to which technology has been ignored. तो यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज़ कहना चाहती हूँ कि हम काफ़ी बार हमें लगता है कि अगर हम टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेड करेंगे, इफ़ वी मेक यूज़ ऑफ द मोस्ट रिसेंट टेक्नोलॉजी, हमारे ऊपर बहुत हैवी इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा, एंड इसके वजह से काफ़ी सारे MSMEs जो हैं वो टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन में नहीं जाते. दे फियर अवे इन अ सेंस कि देयर इज़ अ फियर कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेड करेंगे तो देयर इज सर्टेन इन्वेस्टमेंट. बट इफ़ वी डू अ कॉस्ट बेनिफिट, तो डेफिनेटली there have been researches which have been conducted by MIT, world's leading institute, which says that MSMEs who have adopted technology have become leaders in their respective spaces. They have not only seen a growth much higher in terms of their returns, in terms of their performance, than the technology laggards that have not really made use of this whole technology upgradation. At the same time, अगर आप आपके सेक्टर में टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करने वाले पहले जन बनते हो, then you are the person who sets the opinion, who sets the voice for your particular sector. So adopting technology, definitely in the short run it may feel that it is a heavy investment, but in the long run studies have shown that adopting technology leads to better returns and better growth. So the cost benefit analysis in the long run is definitely higher of adopting good technology, and right now I can definitely say that there are a lot of cost effective, fast and affordable technology solutions available, right? अभी हम let's discuss कि कोविड में क्या हुआ. कोविड में all the meetings that were being undertaken between corporate entities, between normal people, they have all been shifted online, right? ये जो हमारे सारे applications हम use कर रहे हैं, Zoom, Slack, Google Hangout, GoToWebinar, there are so many applications that are available, Google Duo, just crazy number of applications that are there online, and they are all mostly available free of cost. They are a good replacement to flying overseas to meet your clients, to going to meetings. They save so much time and cost. Before, in a pre-COVID era, हम सब जाते थे to our clients' places, to our customers, to attend webinars. I can say that in the last few weeks that I've been at home, I have seen Indra Nooyi from the comfort of my home. I have seen ex-RBI Governor Mr. Raghuram Rajan, all from the comfort of my home. I have seen Mr. Harish Salve sitting right here. These are some of the luxuries that technology has enabled us, all free of cost. Imagine if you had to go and attend a single lecture by any of these people, right? You would have to purchase a plane ticket, fly all the way to Chicago to sit and attend a lecture by Raghuram Rajan. You would have to go to Delhi to attend, get your accommodation, get your travel expenses. Just imagine the number of possibilities that technology has opened up for us. So technology upgradation has to be the way for MSMEs, and we have to adopt technology in order to ensure business continuity. A few weeks back, I was talking to an education industry, somebody from the education industry who ran their education company. What she told me is that they have shifted their entire business operations online, on cloud, on various cloud platforms like Box, Dropbox, Amazon Web Services. These are some amazing cloud platforms which you can make advantage of. By doing so, you are ensuring that your work is ongoing in a seamless manner. At the same time, your employees they don't have to worry too much. They don't have to travel. They are safe and they're sound at their homes, right? So ये cloud services का I feel that we can definitely make use of it, and there's a lot of opportunities available in cloud, in the sense that all the data that you have of your organization, of your MSME, of your manufacturing firm or of your service firm, all of that can be uploaded onto the cloud. Through the cloud, you can access your company just as you were doing so sitting in your office chambers, or sitting in your factories. And once you have accessed all the data, you can transmit it as well in a very seamless manner. So cloud is something that can be definitely explored in a big way. Another thing that I want to talk about is that we know that the complete business ecosystem will change forever post-COVID, right? So here we have to ensure that we are strictly following an inventory management system, and our inventory mechanism is top notch, so that we are ensuring that there is not too much cost which is stuck up in the inventories. At the same time, I want to say that in terms of our office spaces, dispose of the excess office space, the excess property that you have been making use of. This is the time when you analyze, when you assess that what is the excess property space, the rental space or the own space that you have, and try to dispose of the excess spaces, either by not availing of the loan arrangements or by entering into arrangements to sublet the same. You have to completely prune down your infrastructure requirements at this point of time, especially in terms of your office spaces, in terms of your factory units, right? So also try to renegotiate your rental arrangements with your landlords, and in general just make use of only the office spaces that you require, and try to cut down on the office spaces that you don't really require. Once things get back up, we have to ensure that the sanitation of our companies, of our factory units is done on a very, very high level. It's done very well, because even if there's one case of infection, it could result in a complete lockdown of 3 months, right? So just make sure that you are sanitizing your office premises well. Apart from all the other things that we've discussed, how you can tap equity funds, how you can rework on your business models, how you can integrate technology in your businesses. Also, try to modify your customers' needs, try to modify your business as per your customers' needs, customers' expectations and innovation. A few days back, I was talking to someone from the textile industry. So they're normally manufacturing garments, but if you notice that right now, all the retail shops, there's not much demand happening in that space. So they started manufacturing masks. They made use of this opportunity to manufacture masks instead, and in a sense they're providing an essential service, and their businesses is also not shut down. But what's also important here is that when they started their factory units, there were a lot of implications that had to be taken care of, and there were a lot of precautions that had to be done. Instead of operating at full capacity, the capacity utilization was quite lower than the regular capacity utilization. They had to ensure that between all their workers there was adequate social distancing, there was a proper distance maintained between two workers. So these are some of the things that you will have to ensure even when your operations go back up, even when your factories and even when your firms make sure that you're operating as per the safety guidelines and that you are following the social distancing guidelines within your factory units as well, right? So also here one thing that I want to urge all the MSME units is that हम MSMEs होके हम ज़्यादा सोशल मीडिया का फ़ायदा नहीं उठाते हैं. सोशल मीडिया is a key tool to identifying that what are the various customer segments that you can target and to understand what are their expectations. So as MSMEs, we don't tap digital marketing so much, and this is something that we can undertake. At the same time, digital marketing is something that is easily available to everyone. You just have to identify the right set of people and the right target audience, and then accordingly start marketing your products and your services to them. So digital, हम में से किसी ने भी पिछले कुछ हफ्ते में we have not stepped out of our houses, we have not seen a single hoarding or a single board. All that we've seen are ads on Facebook, ads on Instagram, ads on our mobiles, and so on, WhatsApp ads and whatnot. So this is the right point to harness this power, this hidden power of digital media marketing and the social media marketing that has been downplayed since so long. So this is a very good opportunity. At the same time, as MSMEs, it's important that you outsource all your non-core business functions. Your accounting, your finance, your IT, HR, if those are not your core capabilities, it's better to outsource it. It's always much cheaper and it's always much advisable to have consultants who are experts in this field rather than trying to implement those activities as experiments yourself, so that it all becomes a futile exercise, not just of your time but also of your investment. So don't fear to have good consultants who are experts in these domains and outsource the work to them. Also, this is a good point for us as MSMEs to enter into strategic joint ventures, strategic JVs with various other MSMEs in the area, right? So for instance, अगर एक ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन में आप अगर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अगर आप फुलफिल करते हैं तो आप ट्राई करिए कि somebody else who is an expert in packaging try to create a synergy with them, right? It's always said that एक और एक 11 होते हैं, and which is so true in this scenario as well. So this is a good time that we explore all these strategic joint ventures. These sort of strategic JVs require a lot of market research, a lot of market analysis, and which in turn requires time. Right now is the time for us to sit and identify these strategies. Make use of this downtime to identify how you can structure your business in a way that it is cost effective, in a way that you are able to implement advanced payment models, and you are minimizing your cost by outsourcing your non-core technical capabilities or by entering into strategic joint ventures with other MSMEs who are in the vicinity. Make sure that the supply chain is global. The supply chain that was global is now local. So make sure that your supply chain is localized. Right here I want to talk about one of the leading automobile automobile companies of India. So earlier all their products were manufactured in China and they were importing that and they were assembling all of that. Instead they identified MSMEs who were handling the different components, like one MSME was maybe manufacturing engines and such other MSMEs who were involved in various other auto components. They created a synergy wherein these MSMEs were interacting not just with one another to provide, for example, if one provides engine, the other would provide some other part of the auto, some other auto component. Like that, they were able to create a whole cycle, and the company, in a sense, got this entire supply chain in India nationalized and domestic to one place itself. And now it is considered as a leading automobile manufacturer, not just in India but also of the country. So this is a wonderful example of how this whole strategic JVs can be synergized and can be turned into an advantageous situation. Now I want to ask all of y'all, if y'all can put in the comments ki what is the one thing that is common between India and China. इंडिया और चाइना में ये कौन सी चीज़ है जो कि कॉमन है, जो ग्लेरिंग सिमिलैरिटी है दोनों में. If I can see some comments. Yes, so Anant Pandya is replying population, and that's 100% right. That's the bang on answer. Radhe Kedia has messaged population. Yes, that is the right answer. So India और China में जो similarity है, that is population. We have the advantage of manpower, right? Apple ने, अगर आपको पता है, Apple, which is manufacturer of our iPhones, of iPads, MacBooks, उन्होंने अपने सारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स चाइना क्यों शिफ्ट किए? What was the one reason? क्योंकि चाइना ही एक ऐसा कंट्री है जहाँ पे ओवरनाइट आप 10,000 न्यू रिक्रूट्स हायर कर सकते हो at the best available prices, at the best available rates. India comes second to China in that aspect. We also have our workforce, we also have our manpower. So that should be leveraged. And our engineers and our doctors are fine examples of quality and hard work, right? So if we have the technical capabilities in form of engineering, if we have the adequate labor supply, then why not bring those manufacturing units back to our India, just like that automobile industry, just like that automobile company did. It is quite possible. All that it takes is a little bit of willingness and a little bit of strategic planning. And I think that this is something that can be definitely explored in the long run. And with that, I think we've been talking for too long. I would like to take a few questions, and then we can conclude the session. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I had a great time interacting with all of y'all. So yes, technology upgradation is a very important step, but how do we ensure our safety since MSMEs do not have the budget of giants? I completely agree to that point that you have said, that technology comes with a cost of with an added risk of frauds. So for this, there are some wonderful cyber security plans in place which not only cater to large corporates, they also cater to MSMEs and to startups. So we should ensure that this sort of cyber safety is taken care of by making use of appropriate cyber safety cloud services. At the same time, you can always rely on IT specialists who provide these cyber safety, who ensure that your business is safe. See, it's very simple that right now we think that okay, it may be it is expensive, but at the same time think about the cost benefit, right? Instead of maintaining your files and your documents in a separate storage facility or in your office facility, which takes up that so many square feet of space, and you're paying the rent, why don't you think of moving it online onto cloud, which wouldn't take up that much of cost? At the same time, you can maybe add another feature to enhance the security of the same. I know for a fact that AWS is extremely safe, right? So there are such safe avenues that are available, which are not only cost effective, but they are also very easily available. Yes, definitely social media is something that should be tapped, which I feel that is very under-tapped, especially by MSMEs. I see that a lot of startups who are in technology space are actively making use, but MSMEs in the manufacturing units also need to harness this power of social media, because on an average, every day, 1 billion people tune in, log into their social media accounts just to check some or the other content. Imagine the amount of revenue that Facebook earns just by pushing advertising content. right? And it's all AI based, it's all algorithm based. Once you have identified a particular type of audience, once you've struck the right chord, they will keep pushing through the algorithm, through the AI, to that sort of identified audience, to that sort of market. So that is very niche marketing, which is provided right now by social media giants and social media platforms. Of course, digital marketing is a much better avenue right now to the traditional modes of marketing through print media or through TV marketing, because in digital media marketing you can reach a targeted audience, and it can be done at a much cheaper rate as well. So can you name the auto company that you spoke about? Yes, sure, Tanushri. I was talking about Maruti. Maruti, as we know, is the leader in the automobile space, and the example that I was referring to was of Maruti. They identified various MSMEs and GVs within the area. If you know, Maruti has their plants in Manesar and Gurgaon. So this is something that they implemented in that area, and it turned out to be a huge success for them. Alright, so with that, I would like to end the session. Thank you so much to all the wonderful attendees, and I would like to thank the wonderful governing council of Goregaon Sports Club. I call some of them as bhaiya, some of them as uncle, and they're all doing a wonderful job by running such extremely important sessions during this lockdown of financial well-being, of mental well-being. And my best wishes to the club and to the entire MSME community of GSC. I also request that we should all come together. We should create an informal group, and we should tap the synergies, because I feel that within our club there are top professionals, there are top doctors, there are top lawyers, top chartered accountants, and top business owners. Imagine the synergy that can be created within our club itself if we were to create a band of all these wonderful professionals and business owners within the club itself. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening.